Did we pull the boss?
Did we pull the boss through the floor? No, I pulled Mimiron.
What?
Mimiron.
So then we can
He got
skip the trash.
But then Kipso's video is actually good.
So thanks to some comments on the first video, I decided I'd try and do this on a hunter. This is a continuation of my other video, so if you haven't watched that one, you probably should, because I'm not going to go over everything again. But this is actually a lot faster and easier than doing it on a rogue, to be honest. I've gotten a lot of comments about how they've quote-unquote removed the spider tanks, and I don't think that they actually have nerfed the skip. I think it's just kind of random, and hopefully you guys have enough knowledge from previous video to know what to do on how to skip it. Like sometimes there's a spider tank in pack number 3, and it's really not that big of a deal. You just have to adapt to it and do your best. But every time that I've done it, it's been exactly the same, so we're going to go with that configuration again. So for pack number 1, you can skip this by misdirecting your pet while it's out of line of sight of the spider tank and all the other mobs, and then doing a volley, so that way you hit all of the mobs and give a little bit of threat to your pet on everything. Or you can use an invis pot if your group didn't kill the Titan Keeper trash. You can also get really fancy with trying to misdirect the Titan Keeper trash and the Spider Tank trash, but they're so far apart, and this was an alive run, so I didn't really want to do anything crazy. And then use Feign Death once you're past the pack. For the second pack, you can do the exact same LOS pull. There is not all that much room in this hallway, but there is this little cubby where you can tuck your pet in. You could Eyes the Beast him in there if you want to be super safe. I like to first aid my pet, that way it doesn't have the HOD sticking around on him, and it also doesn't proc my greatness card. But make sure your pet's full health, and then go ahead and misdirect to him, and make sure that you do the volley to where it's going to hit both the spider tanks. If you don't hit both the tanks, they're gonna, whichever one you didn't hit is gonna start shooting you with a machine gun. And if you still have the misdirect buff, you can throw a Serenite Bomb just to give your pet that threat, but you're probably just gonna die, especially if you get dazed with Cheetah on. I recommend disengaging through here. That way you don't have to use your rocket boots or the belt at all, and then they'll be up for the third pack. Your pet is like 100% going to die here on like the first pack because there's not enough room for you to range him, but that's okay, you don't really need him. If you're scared on this pack, you could also rocket boot through it or use the belt enchant and then just wait for the cooldown, but I don't really think it's necessary. And then after that, for pack number 3, it's super easy, just like the rogue video. You just pop your boots and your belt, and you don't have to wait for anything, so you can just speed on through here and run straight to the tram. If you have an entrapment spec for Freya, then it's a pretty good idea to be that spec. That way you can just drop the trap while they're following you and just make sure that they never catch up. I also learned if the trash does outrun you, you can just jump on the train and they won't follow you. Be sure to res your doggy on the train. And I forgot to mention this in the last video, but you do actually need to pull Mimiron to activate the teleporter. You don't have to die to Mimiron. I see a lot of people dying to Mimiron. Guys, stop running in and dying. You can just throw something at him and then run out of the room, and he'll reset in like 40 seconds. It's not really that big of a deal. But yeah, that's about it. It's pretty stress-free and easy as a hunter, so if your rogues are bad in your guild, then show this video to your hunters, and maybe they'll take the initiative to do it. And while it's pretty hard for me to get this footage because of lockouts, I was actually able to test this a little bit on a shaman last week that doesn't have engineering. I don't raid on the shaman. I don't even play it as enhanced, but I respect it enhanced because I thought that maybe you could pop feral spirits and use their speed increase and then just run them into the packs and then just run past them and reincarnate. And I actually saw a good amount of success doing this. I think this is definitely possible if you have engineering. I was able to invis pot past the first pack and then do that thing where I run the wolves into the second pack. And this could actually be a lot easier if you had the belt enchant and rocket boots. And then you just get past the second pack and then die, and then wait for those cooldowns to be back up. Reincarnate, and then you guys know pack number 3 is super easy. You just rocket boot through it, use the belt, and run it on the tram. So I think that you could do this on a lot of different characters. I think you could do that same thing with a Warlock, just soulstoning yourself, but unfortunately my Warlock was double locked out this week, so I don't have any footage of it, but maybe I'll test it in the future for you guys. Tons of people are doing the skip now, and I'm happy to see it because the Mimiron trash sucks, and it's not really that hard to skip it, especially if you have a way to reset aggro between pack number 2 and pack number 3. Yeah, it's a lot better than actually clearing this trash. I think probably the most challenging classes would be like Death Knight or Priest or something that doesn't really have any speed increases. I do have all the classes max level, but I definitely don't have engineering on all of them. I have it on like 4. But it's very possible, guys. You just got to be creative. So if you know your rogues and hunters are bad and you have rocket boots, the belt enchant, a target dummy, and an invis pod in your inventory, then just ask somebody for a soulstone and just go do this. Invis pod through the first pack, rocket boot and belt enchant through the second pack, die, accept the soulstone, wait 3 minutes, then boot and belt through the third pack, and just jump onto the train. whatever you do, just don't try and run your entire raid through it. There's a lot of videos of people doing that, and they're pretty hilarious. I can't believe anyone would actually, like, everybody just ends up dying, and like one guy makes it onto the tram. It's kind of funny. But yeah, just don't do that. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys so much for all the subs and support on the last video. It's almost at 20k views, and tons of people are linking me screenshots of people linking it in their guild discords and stuff like that. I see some Korean traffic in there. I see you guys. But I'm really happy I'm able to give you guys some value and entertainment. And I'm really looking forward to cranking out at least one video a week. I got great ideas like this all the time, so if you're not subscribed yet, you're probably going to want to do that, so that way you don't miss out on any crazy awesome ideas like this one. And yeah, thanks again, guys. Have a great day.